What if Palpatine started the Spartan program? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Palpatine surveys the reports from the latest turmoil in the Outer Rim. A small pile of reports highlighted countless new issues, border conflicts, corporate takeovers, and trade embargos. All of this was falling right into plan. The Senate is in an uproar at these issues, demanding to take more action into the Outer Rim. Some are even going as far as to suggest creating a military and rearming their forces to restore order. Palpatine smiles to himself and sees everything going right to plan. With a few more disputes, war will become inevitable. But as he finishes looking through these reports, he sees a few hidden underneath the pile. These are also about these same places, but refer to specific individuals, orphans who lost their parents to this crisis, who have shown unexpected resilience, survival skills, and intelligence. All of these figures are now targeted for recruitment by his program head. At the top of them is a young human who lives on a planet torn by crime syndicates and the Trade Federation. As he finishes the report, Palpatine signals the program head, Dr. Catherine Halsey, to begin recruitment. If there was a war going on, then there must be soldiers. Over the next few months, there is a strange occurrence across a dozen planets. Children begin to disappear, taken without a trace from their parents. While this is a cause of concern for local governments, disappearances are common enough that no one takes them too seriously, especially when they stop as quickly as they occurred. These children, about 75 in all, are taken to the watery planet of Camino, where Dr. Halsey greets them and tells them the news. They have been selected for a program to create a new generation of soldiers to deal with the coming threat of the CIS. As many of these children grow up with the looming specter of the Confederacy, they readily agree to this effort. Among them is a young boy named John. Their trainer, Jango Fett, subjects them to the same training as the clones, and then some. While the clones are not trained in thinking individually and focusing on group tactics, Jango goes the extra mile in teaching them about Mandalorian culture, having them fight both as individuals and as units, as well as training in leadership and tactics. This training is intense and pushes the recruits to their very limits, turning them from children to hardened warriors. It continues for almost 10 years, as their first units of clones are being prepared to deploy. But as their training nears an end, Dr. Halsey suggests special augmentations that will help further enhance their capabilities. The augmentations are grueling, resulting in the death and crippling of over half the candidates. But the 30-odd soldiers who emerge are without question the most effective in the galaxy. At their head is young John, given the rank of Master Chief. Just in time, too, as the Kaminoan army is now being given its first orders to assist the Jedi on Geonosis. The clones are to be deployed as the main army, while the Spartans act as the elite forces. The army arrives just in time, as they see the Jedi strike team has engaged the CIS forces, but suffered heavy losses. Of the nearly 200 Jedi sent to rescue Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme, only about a tenth remains.
All right, move in. Secure the survivors, and clear a landing zone.
As the gunship doors open, the Spartans leap out, using their jetpacks to slow their descent as they land in a perfect ring around the survivors. The Jedi look around in shock, seeing these armored figures, each one over 7 feet tall, and carrying an array of weapons. Even the droids are momentarily shocked. Master Chief gives the order to engage. Suddenly, the Spartans spring into action, raining blaster fire down on the droids, cutting through dozens of them at once. Master Chief is at their head, advancing at a leisurely walk and cutting through the droids closest to him. As he approaches one super battle droid, he grabs it and uses it as a shield as he blasts through the droids. Slowly, they open the perimeter, enlarging the defenses and allowing the gunships to land and pick up the Jedi. As the last to board, the Spartans retreat and the ships fly off. Master Chief looks at the Jedi and salutes.
Spartan John 117, reporting for duty, sir.
I'm glad he's on our side.
We appreciate your assistance, Spartan. But it seems like this battle is much larger than we expected. Have your troops help assist our forces below.
Understood, but I was ordered to help you capture Count Dooku.
He raises his helmet radio and begins to direct his troops below, joining the Jedi and clones beneath them. Their gunship breaks off in pursuit of Count Dooku until they corner him in a nearby hangar bay where he tries to go. Obi-Wan and Anakin rush ahead while Master Chief is just behind. They arrive just as Dooku is about to escape, and the pair engage him. Dooku blocks their initial attacks, holding their offensive back before rushing forward. He pushes between them, his lightsaber flashing and striking at them. This breaks their momentum, as despite facing multiple opponents, his movements remain graceful, and he begins to actually drive them back. Master Chief suddenly rushes forward, discarding his blaster in exchange for an electrostaff, and jabs at him. Dooku sidesteps this attack and kicks him aside. Yet, it is like kicking a brick wall, and he doesn't move an inch. The Spartan slams his staff down and forces him to leap back, just as Anakin rushes at him. He makes a downward swing that narrowly misses Dooku. The Count parries another strike and then pushes aside. Obi-Wan stabs forward, but he stops just a few inches from his neck and drives it back. The three all rush at him at once, but Dooku unleashes a barrage of lightning. Master Chief winces as he drops to his knees, but the Jedi leap over. Although Obi-Wan is more experienced, Anakin takes the offensive and continues to advance, trying to close in on Dooku as he tries to escape. But suddenly, Dooku twists and slices his lightsaber up across his arm. Obi-Wan halts to check on Anakin just as Dooku breaks off and runs to his starship. Despite that, the victory goes to the Republic. The clones are hailed for their role in this victory and turned into the Grand Army of the Republic. However, the greatest praises go to the Spartans. Stories of their daring exploits and achievements on the battlefield take hold. Coupled with their striking appearance, it helps raise morale for the citizens, who see them as heroes and gods come to life. This public perception is not lost on Palpatine, who immediately recognizes their exploits. As the CIS has the advantage in the opening months of the war, the Spartans are sent out in small squads to hamper their progress. They strike swiftly and strike hard, sabotaging the CIS war efforts by disabling factories, ambushing supply lines, and taking out insurgent groups. These efforts buy time for the Republic to organize and are instrumental in delaying the war effort. Palpatine makes sure all of these operations are publicized, turning the Spartans into heroes overnight. Although none of them are truly interested in fame or fortune, they understand the need to boost morale and allow Palpatine to work. Master Chief himself attends multiple events where the Chancellor publicly lauds him and decorates him with medals. In the meantime, the Jedi efforts go unreported, as many of them have never commanded armies of this size. They are amongst the most badly affected in these opening days, and Palpatine makes sure these failures are recorded, making it seem as though the Jedi are unfit for their job, sometimes requiring the Spartans to save them. Only a few like Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan are capable of rising to the occasion. This creates a rivalry between the two organizations, with the Spartans criticizing the Jedi for their lack of strategic flexibility and unyielding obedience to the Jedi Code, while the Jedi believe the Spartans are incapable of compassion and honor. Yet, as the war progresses, Master Chief and his Spartans are sent on more daring missions, engaging in massive battles and defeating enemy leaders. While dramatic, this pulls them away from their original purpose as special forces meant to strike behind enemy lines and cause the most damage. One person who realizes this is Dr. Halsey, who sees her Spartans being misused as propaganda tools instead of their intended purpose. Although their casualties are few, she continues her research to further improve their capabilities. This comes by studying the droid army. Although they have some glaring weaknesses, their versatility is beyond dispute, and she tries to integrate that into her Spartan programs. One of their greatest advantages is the droid's superior durability, so Dr. Halsey begins designing a new set of armor that can address this weakness. She includes the shield generators used by destroyer droids into this suit to give the Spartans more survivability. Naturally, Palpatine is delighted by these innovations, but while he focuses on the flash of these suits, Halsey makes several smaller additions, like a slot to hold data chips. As organic commanders are in short supply, the Separatists have to rely largely on tactical droids. However, she decides to take a step further by improving on it. Instead of just relying on algorithms, her AI will be able to innovate and think for herself. To accomplish that, she takes brain samples from herself to create a smart AI. This includes not just her security codes, research, and uploaded data, but also her scientific curiosity. After returning from a mission, Master Chief is sent to Dr. Halsey on Kamino.
Hello, John. How are you enjoying the new armor?
Ma'am, I think it's some of your finest work, next to the Spartans.
So does the Chancellor, it seems. He's been parading you all around. I'm starting to think he's forgotten your soldiers, but I'm here to remind you of that.
Another armor upgrade.
No, nothing quite as dramatic, I'm afraid. But it is something that can accomplish much more, in a smaller package.
Efficient.
Halsey pulls out a small data chip and gestures for the Spartan to insert it into the slot in his helmet. As Master Chief obeys, he suddenly feels a tingle running across his body as a voice speaks out in his head.
Hello there, John. This place is roomier than I expected.
What is this?
This is Cortana. She is a next-generation AI. While you handle the fighting, she can gather data, provide insight, and access enemy systems.
Technology like that could be a game changer. Will the rest of the Spartans get an AI too?
No, at least not yet. This technology is highly experimental, and not even the Chancellor knows of its existence. I want to clear out all the bugs before I present it to him. I'm trusting you with it because I know you're one of the best. Translation, you're the crash test dummy.
This will take some getting used to.
Soon, Cortana proves her worth. On the battlefield, she enhances Master Chief's already formidable skills. She predicts enemy movements, disrupts separatist communications, and hacks into droid networks with startling efficiency. Being able to access their battlenet is almost child's play for her, letting her predict the droids' movements before they even make them. The results on the battlefield are clear. Missions that would normally result in heavy losses end with clean victories. The Spartans and Master Chief in particular rack up achievements at a rate far faster than ever before. Even the clones take notice, with many of them wishing to serve under the Spartans, who come to be known as the Demons by the CIS. Palpatine notices their victories outshining even the Jedi. He pounces on this opportunity to weaken the Jedi's influence more. Holofeeds are flooded with the vaunted Spartans marching through the battlefield, their armor making them appear like gods. Public sentiment shifts. The Jedi, once revered, are now seen as outdated relics. They are now placed in an impossible position. They committed themselves to the war, but they struggled to keep up with the Spartans. However, they cannot leave without it further destroying their reputation. At the same time, they also lose the people's trust after they fail to help maintain the peace, having them lose on both fronts. The Spartans become the galaxy's heroes, with Master Chief becoming the poster child. When Palpatine asks him about his success, the Spartan remains tight-lipped, never revealing Cortana's existence, just as Halsey instructed. The Chancellor is annoyed by it, but accepts his secret. Instead, he continues to send him out on major missions. One of the most important arrives towards the end of the war, when Darth Maul resurfaces on Mandalore. Palpatine sends Master Chief to eliminate him. The Chancellor's sudden interest in Maul puzzles Cortana. She pulls up previous records of Maul and the crime syndicates involved, and finds that the Chancellor was largely impassive towards them.
Palpatine never cared about him before. Why now?
I don't ask questions. I complete the mission.
That's why I'm here, though. Something feels off. He's ordered the Jedi to ignore Maul in the past.
That's before he became a warlord.
He's never cared much about crime syndicates either. Many of these organizations operate off of Coruscant. Why isn't he dealing with those too?
Mandalore is a war zone, its streets littered with rubble and bodies that have yet to be cleaned up. In the sky, Mandalorian warriors patrol. Master Chief keeps his head down, letting Cortana pull up the city maps to guide him. This guides him through the city, dodging the guards and guiding him through Maul's stronghold. He finds the Sith Lord with his brother, planning his next move with his lieutenants. Master Chief grabs a pair of grenades and hurls them into the room. He throws them into the room. The explosion rips through the ground, leaving smoke filling the room. He rushes inside as the Mandalorians are recovering from the attack. His blaster cuts them down before they can recover, leaving only Maul and Savage. The brothers leap back from the smoke and deflect the blaster bolts. When Master Chief appears, he is holding an electrostaff and twirls it around. Maul attacks with ferocity, but Cortana's calculations gives Master Chief the edge. Her mind analyzes his movements and changes in posture, predicting every strike, every feint. Master Chief counters with precision. He parries each strike, his staff crackling with electricity. He then whirls it back and sweeps it in the air, forcing Maul to lean back. Savage joins the fight and rushes forward, swinging his lightsaber in an upward strike that forces Master Chief to stumble back as his strength is too much. He spins his saber staff around, jabbing it forward and draining his shield. Master Chief winces as Savage swings his lightsaber. He catches his wrist with his own, holding it in place as he kicks him in the knee. Savage stumbles, but Master Chief grabs him by the horns and shoves him against Maul. The Sith apprentice leaps over his brother and lifts him by the Force. He slams the Spartan against the wall and tries to hold him in place, but Master Chief reaches for a grenade and drops it to the ground. Maul leaps out of the way, dropping the Spartan just as Savage tries to slam into him. He barely rolls out of the way as he drives his staff into him. Electricity courses through the massive warrior, causing him to lurch back. Master Chief sweeps him off his feet and rushes towards Maul. He aims a thrust towards his chest, but turns away and instead strikes his shoulder. This slows Maul's counterattack enough for Chief to duck and drive his staff into his foot, but Maul wraps one arm around the Spartan's neck and drops him to the ground. Maul's lightsaber drains his shield in an instant and begins to push into his armor. Before it cuts through entirely, he slams his foot at the Night Brother's leg. The metal bends almost immediately and sends him falling over. Master Chief jumps to his feet and stands over Maul, whirling his staff and preparing to drive it down.
You don't understand. You think you're serving the galaxy, but you're only serving him.
Serving who?
Palpatine. You're just another pawn in his game. When he's finished, you will be discarded, just like the Jedi.
The Jedi are still around.
For now, but the Chancellor does not intend to keep them, or the Republic.
Tell it to the Council, then.
Master Chief prepares to bring down his staff, but Maul continues speaking.
I've been gone for a long time, so answer me this. Has the Chancellor been amassing power? Has he been undermining the Jedi? Have there been unusual information leaks?
The Spartan is about to ignore him, but Cortana tells him to wait. Her mind begins to analyze everything he said. As she does, her form flickers, turning darker than usual as she looks out in surprise.
It's true. Based on the data I've analyzed, Maul's claims align with Palpatine's patterns. Something isn't right.
Master Chief doesn't reply, but her words linger, his mind turning over the Sith's warning. For the first time, doubt begins to creep into his thoughts. Suddenly, he takes their lightsabers and tells them to speak. Smiling to himself, Maul begins to explain everything about the Sith grand plan. He tells them how Palpatine plans to sow chaos in the galaxy to ensure a smooth takeover. To do so, he must get rid of the Jedi to ensure that smooth transition.
Like what he was doing with the Spartans. Haven't you noticed how much he's been pushing the Spartans to be the heroes of the Republic, while showing the Jedi's failure?
Precisely. Soon only those he deems worthy will survive.
Master Chief frowns, thinking of how he's been showing unusual favor to Anakin. He looks over at Maul and nods.
If that's true, then how can we stop him?
The plan continues to advance whether we like it or not. But there will become a window to strike. Right now, we must wait for that window to present itself.
Master Chief cuts off communication between him and the Chancellor. As this mission is classified, no one knows where he went. This buys him some time, but soon people begin to wonder where the heroic Spartan went, with some speculating that he might be dead. To this, Palpatine explains that Spartans do not die, they are simply missing in action. But this is little comfort in the coming weeks, as soon the CIS begin their attack on Coruscant. Thousands of Separatist ships arrive, turning the capital planet into a battlefield. The Republic forces scramble to defend the planet, while all Spartans are recalled to take part in the defense. They work to secure the surface while the Jedi command the space battle. For several days, both sides clash, taking catastrophic losses, but the Republic seems to be on the back foot as most of their defense fleet is in the Outer Rim. It seems like their fleet might be scattered entirely, but that is until reports of hyperspace ruptures appear across the battlefield. Suddenly, sleek Mandalorian fighters appear across the battlefield, slipping through enemy formations and firing upon CIS ships. The Republic is surprised to see these ships, but welcomes their arrival, especially after Master Chief hails the Republic fleet and tells them not to open fire.
Master Chief, care to tell me what you're doing on that Mandalorian ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
On the surface, the Mandalorians leap from their crafts, jetpacks flaring as they join the fray, their blasters mowing down separatist droids. But Master Chief doesn't join them. Instead, he makes his way through the Senate bunker. Thankfully, Cortana can pinpoint the location for it. The team storms toward the Senate building, its halls crawling with chaos as loyalist troops fight off droid incursions, trying to buy time for the Chancellor to escape. He hurries down the path where a group of Spartans are escorting him to safety. But as they prepare to face off against a wave of battle droids, Master Chief drops down from a starfighter, accompanied by several Mandalorians.
Ah, my boy, it gladdens my heart to see you're safe. But why are you with these creatures? Your orders were to destroy them.
We're here to protect the Republic, even from you.
I see Maul has poisoned your mind. No matter. The Spartans will handle this betrayal. Execute Order 37.
He raises a hand, and the Spartans at his side suddenly halt. A flash of red glimmers in their visors as Palpatine activates the inhibitor chips embedded within them.
Chief, I'm detecting abnormal neural activity in their suits.
Master Chief grits his teeth as his former comrades turn toward him, their weapons raised. He sweeps his staff and tosses back the 3 nearest Spartans. Behind him, the Mandalorians let out a battle cry and rush at them. The bunker erupts into a storm of blaster fire and explosions. Savage Opress joins his soldiers, using his inhuman strength to overpower them. Maul takes this opportunity to leap over the fighting and rush towards Palpatine, his lightsaber flashing and clashing with him. Master Chief tries to join them, but each time he gets close, his fellow Spartans block their path. He growls and tries to fight through them, though avoids using lethal force, lowering the power setting of his electro staff. But this means they keep getting up and rushing at him.
Hold on, Chief. I can try getting help.
Looking around, Master Chief watches as the Mandalorians begin to fall one by one, leaving him to face them alone. One Spartan uppercuts him and sends his neck snapping back. He counters by kicking him aside and then catching another Spartan swing and throwing her aside. A third gets a headbutt that sends him stumbling back. But no matter how many fall, more take their place. They strike in all directions, and even Savage is struggling to hold them back. He spins his lightsaber to try and block their attacks, but one takes aim with a sniper rifle and fires through the spinning blades, taking him right in the head. This leaves Master Chief struggling to hold them back as they surround him, but then the other Spartans begin to short out. Electricity courses through their bodies.
I suspected as much. I'm uploading a shutdown protocol now. Stand by.
How did you?
Please, you think Cortana's intuition about Palpatine was just her own?
The Spartans around Palpatine freeze mid-motion, their armor locking up as Halsey's override takes effect. Cortana chimes in.
The shutdown worked. You're clear, Chief.
Master Chief picks up Savage's lightsaber and races towards Palpatine, who throws Maul back. He leaps over the Night Brother's tumbling body and thrusts it over towards Palpatine, who twists aside. Palpatine whirls back and slashes at him, draining parts of Chief's armor, but then kicks him back. He follows with a punch that smashes through the wall, though it doesn't hit Palpatine. The Chancellor chuckles and then rushes at him, raining attacks on him. Master Chief clumsily tries to block them, unused to the feeling of the lightsaber. However, his enhanced reactions prevent him from being cut down. As the next slash comes, Master Chief locks his blade with Palpatine's and rushes forward, sending him back and buying Maul time to get back up. Together, the two rush him, Maul leaping from the walls and slashing at Palpatine's head and forcing him low. He barely avoids that as Master Chief twists and tries to slash at him. Palpatine catches this, their red blades clashing with lightning crackling from the Sith Lord's fingers.
You dare defy me, Spartan?
Master Chief doesn't respond. Instead, he starts to push forward. But as he moves, Palpatine strikes. He unleashes a burst of force lightning that throws the Spartan back, instantly draining his shields and forcing him to his knees. Before he can finish him off, Maul seizes the opportunity, striking at Palpatine's side. The cut is shallow, but forces the Sith Lord to break off his attack. This is when the Chief strikes, ramming his full weight against Palpatine, sending him crashing against the wall with bone-crushing force. Palpatine opens his mouth to scream as blood comes pouring out, but Maul silences him a moment later with a quick slash. As the battle draws to a close, confusion reigns amongst the Senate as they wonder what happened to the Chancellor. That is until Master Chief appears and explains everything. The entire Senate is initially shocked, as the story is too much to swallow. And yet, the Spartan is an accomplished war hero, and no one can question him. It allows further testimony from Cortana, who reveals everything, pulling up previous records and suspicious exchanges from the Chancellor's office that does cast some light on the issue. The final nail is Maul's testimony, which all but confirms his collusion with Palpatine. A snap election is called, but the Spartans already turn their gaze back to the Outer Rim, being sent to deal with the remnants of the CIS. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.